My name is Blair McKeil. I'm the CEO of McKeil Marine, which is a family business that was started here in Hamilton, where you are today, in Hamilton Harbor.
The first rule of waterkeeping is this: everyone has a connection to water.
We own and operate tugs and barges. Water has been the essence of our business. Without it, we would not exist. I think the most powerful memory for me of water, when I think back, is probably twofold. I would come on weekends with my father into Hamilton, and he was building boats in those days out of steel, and we would spend Saturdays with him playing along the east end of the harbor. When I think back, the harbor was a different place then. It was dirty. There was an oil sheen on top of the water. Raw sewage was pumped into the harbor, and it wasn't a pretty sight. It was only maybe 2 or 3 years later that I recall spending our weekends at our family cottage, which was a kilometer from our home on Lake Ontario in Winona, and we were in the same, just virtually 15 kilometers away, swimming. We could fish, sailing, water skiing for years and years on end. It was almost like two different parallels, from an industrial base and what was going on in the harbor, and then what we were doing within the confines of the Great Lakes or in Lake Ontario, where I grew up.
The moment that you become aware of your connection to water sticks with you. It is a turning point.
When my wife came to me and suggested we look at Waterkeepers as an organization, and we started to look into it and started to participate with some of the programs that Waterkeepers are doing, it made me, from a personal perspective, much more aware of what we can do within our own community, be it other companies or as well our own people.
From that point on, you realize that your work, your community, the economy, all are influenced by water. And that water, in turn, is influenced by you.
We are workers of the water. We are reliant on the water for our livelihoods. The majority of the fellows that work on board our vessels grew up in fishing communities and rural communities on the East Coast and the Maritimes. They certainly understand what the water means to them. They understand what the cod fishery means to them. They understand that whole ecosystem, how important that's been to their families for generations.
Just identifying your personal connection to water won't save the nation's waterways. But the science, law, cultural movements, and business practices that will create a clean water future can't emerge on their own.
We're all allowed to have an experience, or it's our experience. So what you love about water, how you grew up, and what water did for you, completely different from me. Water will just continue to become more important throughout our organization. And I can see it actually becoming part of a common theme within our culture. Certainly respect for water is. You're thinking smart, you've got to be sharp. You want smart people, you want sharp people, people have to care. But that combined with a great culture really creates a beautiful thing.
Where you come from, the choices you make, the future you help create, all are part of a connection to water. What's yours?